and mute you and bring you to the forefront. Hey, brother.
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Good, good. How are you?
I am fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks. Dude, great webinar, man. Great information.
Thank you. Thank you. I just want to say, man, I love your view. Right on the
Oh,
beach there.
thanks, man.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Hey, man. Hey, you know, it all happened from learning the same stuff you're teaching right now, man. So that's why I'm so grateful, you know. If I didn't know what you're teaching me right now, I would not be here. I don't know where I'd be.
Yeah, absolutely. I hear you. Life's changing very quickly, and I know you can attest to that. It's just sometimes you're only one click away from big things. So
yeah, 100%, man.
So just basically what I want to do, have you talk about is just give kind of a brief description of like who you are, like a 2 to 5 minute, just like this is who I am. And maybe talk about a little bit about what you're doing now, kind of how you're having your success. And then we'll move on from there.
Awesome. Sounds good, man. Hey, I just saw Scott said hello. What's up, Scott? Yeah, so thanks, man. I appreciate you having me on. And again, great information. This is, I appreciate, people like you, Chris, who are out there sharing this information because it's so valuable and it's so like right in point with a lot of people need this information. And I'm fortunate enough to be in the same position to be able to share this stuff with people because, I lived most of my life struggling, broke personal trainer, just struggling to survive. At one point, I was living in my car for 8 months until I found the information from AWOL, met Cameron George and Kayala, and I started applying that stuff and that information to my life. And went from being literally a guy who was just being a personal trainer at times, couldn't even put gas in my car to get to the gym, to now, living in my dream home here. And it wasn't easy, right? Because the mechanics are the same. Like Chris taught you guys, like all the mechanics are really great and the same, but really deciding what you want and overcoming your own personal hurdles and going through steps that David A is what helped me get here, will help you get there too. And so every day now, I'm really grateful because I get to wake up and live the life that I truly want to live. And so I do exactly what Chris taught you guys here tonight. That's exactly what I've been doing for 5 years now since I met Cameron George and Kayala. I've been applying that every single day to my life. And I've been able to create multiple six-figure income and be able to magnify that greatly after hitting 6 figures. Once you hit it's like you're saying, Chris, it's like you're really only one good ad away from a $10,000 a month, right? And then once you start hitting something like that, your perspective really shifts, and you've done it once. Like if you get one lead, you can get two, right? If you can get one sale, you can get 2 sales. You realize once you start doing that there's really no limitation because there's people around you like myself and even greater people who are doing amazing things and who show you that this information, if you apply it properly and you continue to grow with it, can change your life. And it's a skill set that I'm so grateful for. I'm so grateful for people like Chris out here actually teaching it because without this skill set, I couldn't afford to live here. I could not afford. It's a dream. You kidding me? This house would have cost me 3 years just to live in this house for the year. Would have cost me 3 years worth of the work I was doing before. Just 3 years of my business before, Chris. I mean, yeah.
Damn.
So. And now I live in a house that costs, it's not that big of a deal, but it's always been that big of a deal. But again, guys, so it's the tools, the principles, and mechanics that Chris is out there teaching with AWOL community and all that stuff, because it's like, there's so much opportunity right now. It's like the greatest time in human history to be an entrepreneur, to go out there and do direct sales and affiliate marketing and apply those skill sets to market space and create your own business for yourself. And so I've taken all this stuff now, guys. So now I'm able to live here with my family. I got a family of 5 in here, getting married in a few months. You know that, Chris was talking about that at the last event. Man. And, and taking my business to multiple 6 figures. And then now by the end of the year, it'll be we'll get through the 7-figure year, but moving on to 6-figure months. And, this stuff's not going to happen. Hey, what's up, Joel? What's up, brother? How you doing, dude? It's I guess anything about the path, Chris, I guess it's like the mechanics are there. Like if you can get up every single day and apply what you're learning and believe in yourself, have a strong enough vision, and just apply and learn every single day, you can get to the point where you're living your dreams. Like for me, to live where I'm at now was a dream of mine, but I was living in my car. I was walking on the beach when I was living out of my car down there, like believing in myself, believing that I could accomplish something more, believing in myself, and then finding the mentors and the people like Chris, who are out there getting results, who are actually in the trenches, who are surrounded around great mentors, who are taking information and passing it down. Like, people ask me all the time, like, what do you think is the greatest thing you can teach people as you get to become a leader, get success, or what have your mentors and leaders taught you? It's like, when you start learning like the information that we're gathering, it's when you find at least a certain level of success for yourself. What that is, it might be $3,000 a month, it might be $5,000 a month, it might be $50,000 a month, whatever it is. But you have that freedom and time to like reach back and stick an arm around and grab as many people as you possibly can and pull them up to where you're at, because there's an amazing thing happening right now. And as long as you're willing to grow and try and just, be willing to grow a little bit every single day, then, shit, one day you wake up, you're like, oh man, I'm living my dream. And I'm on my I'm going on my 38th trip in the last 2.5 years. Next week, I'm going back to Hawaii. I was in Hawaii a week and a half ago. And before that, I was in the British Virgin Islands. And then I was in Vegas. Then I was in New Mexico with you. Then I was in the British Virgin. And then I was back in Vegas. So it's like, whatever your dream is, I'm not sure we want to go this, but, wherever your dreams are. Hey, what's up, Les? Awesome, dude. Whatever your dreams are, or maybe you didn't have a clear enough vision yet, get clear about what you want in life.
Absolutely.
Get crystal clear about that. Write that down. And, start doing something every day. Get around people like Chris. Start learning. Start getting the education. And it may not happen in 3 months. It may not happen in 6 months. But whatever you do, imagine in 1 year, 3 years, hell, shit, if it took you 5 years, it took me 5 years to get here. Actually, I've been doing this since 2004 and failed. Since 2004 until a few years ago, doing this, guys. So the information you're getting from AWOL type of coaching, stuff like that, it's what took me from going from 2004 to 2012 failing to then short fasting, and then within 2.5 years I had my first 6-figure year, right? So Chris, you're cutting out the shortcuts, man. You're making it a lot easier for people, so I appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely, man. I'm kind of with you, man. It's just like there's like a revolution happening. There's like a movement happening. People are setting themselves free all the time using these skills. And I personally was able to do it. I know you have been able to do it. Other people on this call have been able to do it. And I want to be able to show the world that and give it back to them. So, absolutely, man. Just, keep on moving. You're doing awesome. Obviously you're an inspiration to all of us. So appreciate you coming out on this call, man.
Oh, hell yeah, brother. And I appreciate you, dude. I mean, you got such a great heart. We got to hang out that week in New Mexico. I really got to like dive into who you are. And I appreciate you, dude. You've got a great heart. You're freaking strong. You're ambitious. And you want to give back to the world. You want to be a leader. And you're doing it, dude. I love it. You're already manifesting stuff. Like, you're speaking on stages already, man. It's like, I remember the first time I met you at the first event. And you're like, one day I'm going to speak on stage. I'm going to do it. And look, dude, you're doing it. So you have that power. And I love that you're passing it on, because it's the greatest time in human history right now to grow and to go out there and find people who are achieving things. And that's what I did, dude. It's no different. You just find somebody who's accomplishing what you want to accomplish, latch onto them, learn from them, and keep on moving forward,
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know how much time you have, but if you got time for one more question, I'd appreciate it.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude.
Right on. So when you first obviously you had a couple of years where it wasn't so successful. And then you said that meeting up with the right teachings, the right mentor, AWOL Kiala Cam really helped you to move forward and become successful in this. What was a big breakthrough that you had when you first got linked up that really helped you to get over those hurdles you were having and really start being successful?
Yeah, you know what? I could actually go right to a very specific point, Chris. It's like, so I had been with Cam for a little over 2 years, and Cam just kept knowing and believing in me, like, you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. You just keep doing it. You'll get there. And I kept trying, right? I kept applying the mechanics. I just kept doing what I was told to be doing, and sometimes I didn't do them the best. I think I could slack off and stuff. But a couple things Cam taught me, which led me to the transformational moment I'm about to speak of, is that the mechanics are the same, right? You can show them the click magic. You can show them the funnels. You can show them the traffic sources and stuff. And Cam would do that. He shows that stuff every single day. And when we'd go work in these work environments, and he's like, Carlson, listen, honestly, your income's not going to grow unless you grow as a person, right? Unless you start really wanting more. Like, I know you want to pay your bills, bro. Everybody does, right? Everybody wants to pay their bills. Everybody wants the shiny new car, right? But unless you really decide what you really, really, really want, unless you really grow and realize your income's set at like a thermostat, right? It's within a range. And even if you make more one time, it's going to go right back down to it. So there's this range within you're in. Unless you grow that, you're never going to get to that next level on the thermostat. And so, you know, Cam told me to read the books, go to events, you know, get around those, listen to audios every day. And so it took me a little bit to get into that kind of stuff. And as I started doing that, that was the biggest breakthrough. I read books like The Magic. I read books like Happy Pocket Full of Money. And that started shifting my perspective of what was possible for me as an individual. And then getting around people who were getting results. Like you, Chris, it's like, you know, when you meet somebody like, wait, you're doing it? You have a full-time business online? Like that motivates and inspires me, and I realize it gives me the opportunity that other people are doing it. And then, dude, we had AWOL had its launching of the company really event. That actually in Hawaii, but I'm still lucky I get to go back. It's like since 2 years, I've been there 6 times in the last 2 years, dude, to Hawaii. Damn. I'm going back again. This is crazy. And maybe because I had my biggest breakthrough there, but you know, one of the gentlemen we get to work with, Mr. Todd Campbell, was there. Mm-hmm. And here it is, guys. And I want you to pay attention to this because it's important, because you may be going through something very similar. Is that like, I knew I wanted to be more, right? And I knew I had it within me, and I knew I was showing up, and sometimes not showing up enough in my business. You know, I wasn't 100% there, but maybe I was 50%, 70% there. But there was a moment, guys, when we went through the weekend experience of personal development. And at one point I had this amazing shift when I realized at one point the weekend that I was really afraid of success. I said I wanted it. I really thought I wanted it. I talked about that all the time. But then there was a part of me that was holding myself back on a subconscious level. And it really took the personal development to dive deep to figure out what was. I realized that I was holding myself back to success because I was surrounded by people who were using the same mechanics that Chris presented tonight, the exact same mechanics. And I was applying those for a couple years, almost 2.5 years, before I had a breakthrough, realize that I'm the only one who's not going 100% of my business. I'm the only one not showing up every single day in my life. I'm the only one not accomplishing the results. And I made a shift. I realized I had to let go of some fears. I don't need to go too deep in it, but basically I had like football scholarships taken away from me at time. And it was a really tough time because I thought that's where I was going to go with my life and be a football coach, be an NFL football player. I was promised big things as an athlete. And so those things were taken away from me, right? Taken away. And when those things were taken away from me, it's something that like, it gives me goosebumps thinking about it. I remember being so angry and so hurtful. And then I didn't even realize that 15 years down the road, I was afraid to go for my dreams because what if somebody could come in and rip that carpet out from underneath me and take my dreams away from me? And when I realized that was only a belief. It was just a belief that I had, right? Just a small little belief. When I shifted that belief just a little bit that nobody had that power to do that anymore, wow, that's when everything took off. That's when the ads started working, right? That's when the mechanics started working. That's when everything started working in my life. And I started having new belief in myself, knowing that there's nobody that controls my life. There's nobody that's going to hold me back from my success except for me. I'm the only one. What's going on space between these years is the only thing that's going to stop me from having success. And once I believed that, I put my head down. I went to work. I kept doing the same things I was doing before, but I had started having greater results. Because we're the creator of our own reality. And I realized that I was the one to hold myself back. And that was it, dude. Once that happened, Chris, I started applying the same thing you're teaching tonight, the exact same stuff. But then I got over the hurdles. I did the things. I believed in myself. And then things started going, and then there was just like this. It's like, you know, everybody thinks an entrepreneur's life or somebody who's successful is like, oh, wow. You know, they're like, they're rich. You're happy. You're successful. Everything you want. No, that was like, you know, rough and valleys and deeps and crevices and just nutty stuff. And then one day, all of a sudden, it's like, I literally didn't even feel the shift and change. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I'll take this house. Yeah, I'll pay for these trips. Yeah, I'll start doing this stuff. Yeah, I'll be responsible financially. Like, it becomes who you are. And it goes back to what I'm saying, Chris. It goes back to who you are because I grew. I took the original information my mentor told me, said, grow as a person. Because when you grow as a person, you'll show up to that life you're waiting for. But unless you grow and shift and change, you're not going to get to that place. So that was the biggest thing is I realized that I need to actually take ownership of my life and complete exactly, Scott, and believe in constant growth, Kaizen, you know, and that was a big shift for me, Chris. Yeah.
Yeah. That was damn good. That was awesome. I couldn't relate. I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. I can totally relate. to what you're saying. It's if you're not, you have to be able to grow into it. It's not just going to happen with the person you currently are. Absolutely. You know, your results are based upon what you're bringing into yourself. And the more, you know, you're reading, the more you're doing audio, the more you're keeping up with your 5 pillars of AWOL, the more you're trying to expand and network yourself around people who are successful, the more success you will have, the more you will have the results you're looking for. I completely agree. And awesome, dude. Awesome. Very, absolutely, Les. Very inspirational, man. Very inspirational.
Yeah, thank you, dude. I want people to know, man, because I struggled for so many years and love my mom to death. She's like, she kept, you know, poor thing, when I was living on my car, man, she's like, that kid's just gonna keep throwing shit up against the wall, and one day it's gonna stick. And you got to believe that for yourself, guys. You got to believe in yourself. You gotta, you know, God bless and love the family around you and the friends that you have, but you've got to figure out who you are and what you really want in life. And you've got to get very crystal clear about that. Write that down. Look at it every single day. And then, like Chris is saying, get around the mentors. Get around the people. Even if you don't work with somebody in this capacity, at least it's going to start you on a path that leads you to the next thing. And like, that's one thing you got to realize is that you got to get going. And Chris, we talked about this the other day. It's like, you've got to get your ship out of the fucking harbor. Sorry, cursing there, but you got to get your ship out of the harbor and going in a direction towards your dreams. And as you're out there floating in the water, then you can start finding the mentors, the people, the communities, the opportunities, the book, the webinar, the event, whatever it is to get you. And all of a sudden you start getting closer and closer to exactly where you wanted to go. But unless you take that chance, unless you take that risk, unless you get around a mentor and you get into a program like AWOL in this coaching program, unless you get into something like that, then you sit there all day long, looking out the horizon going, yeah, I wish one day I could have something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and like you just said, we talked about the other day. Obviously, a buddy of ours feeling a little stuck, and you said the same exact thing to him. It's like, you know, you can't course correct, and you can't start moving towards anything when you're sitting still. You have to get that ad up. You have to start making movement. You have to allow the market to speak to you. Otherwise, you're just going to sit there twiddling your thumbs, and you're going to stay in your own head worrying about things that probably aren't even relevant to what you're trying to do. So yeah, man, you got to get moving. Absolutely. Perfect, dude. Perfect. So just in closing, is there, you know, I mean, you've already dropped so much. That's so awesome. Is there anything you would, you know, want to say to someone just getting started that, you know, kind of help them along and keep not their motivation, but their passion going?
Yeah. I would definitely say get started, first of all, whatever it is, like get started. And one of the first things I do, even before you get started doing something, is like get clear about your vision. Like, I'm not kidding you. When I say, when I say write it down, like, you guys are going to sneak peek. Don't snapshot this or anything, but you see this right here. And of course, I talked about this at our event, right? That is my 5-year journey. Okay. That is exactly what's going to happen over the next 5 years. Now, do I know exactly how that's all going to look? Do I know exactly what course or what person I'm going to meet to get to there? No, I don't. I absolutely do not. I have ideas about how it's going to work. I have ideas of what it's going to look like. I have ideas of the people, like specifically when it comes to work, the type of people I work, the type of products I create. The idea, though, first of all, is that you have to get very clear about what you want in life, because everything around you see right here, that palm tree wasn't there. Somebody planted that there. That was in their mind. That building wasn't there. Somebody thought about that, created and designed everything that we see there, right? Everything that you see around you was created by a thought and an idea. Everything. And it was created by, like Steve Jobs would say, by people who are no smarter than you, right? So in order for you to go forward in life, to actually get anywhere you want, because it's easy to sit around and piss and moan and complain about you have no money, that the economy sucks, that your president sucks, or whatever the things you're complaining about are. That's very easy to do. And you can gather an army of people around you and say, hey, this is bullshit, and this sucks, and this is unfair, and this is that. The truth is that's a lie, and that there's opportunity all around you. So what you got to first get clear about is that what do you really want? Like, not what your family wants for you, not even what your spouse wants for you, not what your kids want for you. What do you want for yourself, right? Get clear about that. And maybe you don't even know right now, but get clear about that. Sit down, write it down. And maybe it takes a little bit, journal about it, and get crystal clear about what your life looks like. Like, what house do you live in? What kind of car do you drive? What kind of vacations do you take with yourself or your family? What kind of inspiration are you to your community? What kind of charity things are you doing? How are you uplifting, motivating, inspiring people around you? Whatever it is that you want to live in your life, write it down, get crystal clear about that. Then find a vehicle, get with people like Chris, get in the AWOL community where you have something. And I can tell you guys, between AWOL and the Global Affiliate Zone, the things that are being done are like, it's at the highest level of integrity, right? So if you're going to think about looking for an opportunity around here, this is by far, I can tell you, one of the best opportunities to be a part of, because it comes from a place of integrity. It comes from a place of like really wanting to help uplift, motivate, inspire people. So then get around the mentoring, get around the education that you have, and start applying yourself every single day. Buy a book called The Happy Pocket Full of Money. Buy a book called it just went out their way. Happy Pocket Full of Money. Sorry, The Magic. And then the book called The Compound Effect. And I love the Compound Effect because it's like what we call the Kaizen, getting better every day, 1%. Just focus on getting better 1% every single day. Wake up, look at your goals and your dreams. That thing I showed you on my wall is spread out 4 places around my house. My kids know about it. I know about it. I don't have to read it every day. I just see it. And my conscious, subconscious is picking up and reading about who I am, who I'm becoming. And there's every single day, read books, do audio, go to live events. Because I can tell you, live events are the biggest catalyst to any transformation. That is it. And Celeste is on here. Chris is here. We've all the people I've met that are my long-term friends and business partners today, I've all met at events. Right? So get around the people who are like-minded, uplifting, motivating, supportive, and are out there transforming, changing their lives. And then just don't stop. Never give up. Never, please never give up on your dreams and settle. And when it comes to just getting started, that's really what it is. Just get focused, get started, keep moving forward, and don't give up. And then when you get to the point where you've achieved a certain level of success, maybe it's just be able to quit your job, right? Maybe it's just be able to live financially free. Do your best and make sure you reach out to as many people. You don't have to go out there and tell people, hey, look what I'm doing, look what I'm doing. You want to be like me? You want to be like me? Just put your information out there, right? Be your natural self, and then look for those who are reaching out for an arm and grab those arms and pull them up and just say, hey, listen, I got you. And then help as many people as possible. Because I tell you, it's not about the money. I know a lot of people are think, well, you know what, I just pay my bills, Carlson. I hear you about helping people and stuff, but yeah, I just pay my bills. And I get that. But once you start paying your bills, once you have enough money to do whatever you want, I tell you, it's not going to be about the money. That's the wildest thing. I could go get a Lamborghini tomorrow. I could put my family in an even bigger house up there on Palos Verdes. I could do a lot of things, right? But nothing makes me happier than waking up every single day, providing more value and being of service and getting messages from people that their lives are transformed because of the type of work we do. And just realize that wherever you're at today, you can grow through that path, and it doesn't have to be, thank God you guys are part of AWOL and these things that you're a part of, because you already have people who've actually already achieved it. And so you don't have to go through the hurdles, right? You have people who've already actually knocked down all those hurdles and listen, I got a clear path. This is what I'm doing. You got great guys like Chris who are teaching and mentoring people. So that's my best advice for getting started. And I hope leave you guys with some inspiration that there's no limits to your life except the limitations that you put on yourself between your ears. That's really it. And when the day you feel like not doing the things that you want to do, when you have your big why up on the wall, believe me, you'll have a conversation with yourself and figure out how to get over that bullshit between your ears and go out there and do what it takes to accomplish your dreams. I tell you, it's worth it. It's so worth it.
Absolutely, brother. There's 3 things that you said that really, really resonate with me. One was clarity of vision. Like, having a vision board is one thing, but like being specific, like this is the exact granite tile or countertop I'm gonna have in my kitchen. This is the tile I'm gonna be, having in my bathroom. Whether my floors are gonna be heated or not. These might seem like super insignificant details, but when it comes to setting yourself up to manifest something into your life and to have clarity of vision, these things are super crucial. If there's like that old saying that you could ask for more money, well, here's $1. It's like, you gotta be specific. Like you gotta know what you want, and having that clarity is great. I mean, it's absolutely crucial to success. The other thing
100%. Can I say that too? I added that really quick. And I wish I had. I got to find it. It's in one of my books somewhere. I took it off of my last place. We moved in here in December, and the kids and Renee and I, because Renee was living in her house before we all moved in together, and I had on my fridge, we decided exactly what we wanted, and there was a checklist. So it was 3 floors, west facing, 2-car garage, and there was a list of like 4 other things that were on that list of what we wanted as a house together.
Mhm.
I literally, the day I got this, I went to the fridge. I'm like, let me see. Let's see. Like, we checked off every single one of those. And guys, it was on my refrigerator every single day for months. I visualized I wanted a 3-story. I didn't know I was gonna get an elevator. That was an added bonus. But west facing, on the water, and it all started right here. So I just wanted to add that in there. Like, the universe will
Absolutely.
deliver exactly what you want.
Yeah. Just gotta know how to specifically ask for it. And
Yep.
it's just, that's all it is to it. Get specific, get clear on your vision, clarity. That's it. And the second thing that you said that like really resonated with me just then was that and for me personally, it's why it did. When I first got started online, it was so that I could make money and also be able to have time with my family. And obviously, making a significant amount of money allows for that to be easier. So that's what I was my goals and my dreams. And um, fortunately for me, I'm very grateful. I was able to accomplish that goal very quickly, to have that balance of money and time with family, and getting around, especially at live events and getting to speak on stage. I talked about it. It's like that vision kind of changes a little bit. That the purpose kind of changes a little bit. It was like, oh, well, I want to make a bunch of money so that I don't have to worry about bills and I can spend time with my family. Then you start to get involved with this community, like you were saying, and you start to seeing the impact it's having on people's lives, and how people are like setting themselves free, and just like that's a great feeling for me to watch and see. And it just became this thing where it's like, okay, now I'm not satisfied just making money. I want to be able to spend time with my family and give back to the world. And then the money is just a byproduct of being able to do so. And that, I mean, when I spoke on stage just in Vegas, a week or so ago, that's what I talked about my vision for the veteran outreach, to start, that veteran program I had spoken to you about. And like, it's just becoming clearer and clearer, and the vision is becoming bigger and more focused because of the people I'm hanging around. It just keeps constantly growing into this, like, how can I give back more? And that's just another reason I really love this industry, is because people, especially within AWOL and GAZ, the hearts are so big. Like, I mean, it's not majority of the people you talk to within these two, pillar industries or businesses, that they're caring, genuine people. Like, and it's an amazing thing. And the third thing you had said was your why will outweigh. You'll look up one day and your why will outweigh any obstacle or thing in front of you. And having that clarity of vision is great, but you need to know why you want it. Having that backing will give you the ability and the determination to push through, anything that gets in your way, because you have a reason bigger than yourself. And then you won't have to be like, oh, well, I guess I'll settle. It's like, no, I'm doing this for something bigger than that, and I will achieve it. And then you obviously start breaking down walls, like with a sledgehammer or a Mack truck, it just starts happening. So yeah, dude, thank you so much for coming out and sharing with us. I personally received so much from it, and I know everyone else must have as well. So thank you so much, man.
Yeah, dude, appreciate you, brother. Keep spreading the word, man. Keep helping as many people as you can. You're a great leader, you're a great inspiration, and I love what you're doing, man. So appreciate you, brother.
All right, everybody, show Eric some love in the comments. Thank him for coming out and spending some time with us today, sharing his insights, his experience with us. Thank you so much, brother.
Yeah, appreciate you, dude.